Welcome! I'm here to provide basic walkthrough for the clan boss Unkillable team. I will go through basic requirements for each champion and the delays regarding Demon Lord, Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. Let's start with champion requirements. For Unkillable team to work, it has to be speed tuned to counteract the speed of Demon Lord. On Nightmare, Demon Lord speed is 170 and Ultra Nightmare is 190, which in turn will have to tamper with the delays accordingly. To start with, let's go to Maneater. Avoid epic champion that is the most crucial part of Unkillable team due to his ability to deny death and debuffs to your team. The reason the block debuff is important is that your champion whose skills are on cooldown takes a turn, while stunned his abilities cooldown won't decrease. That will both disrupt the skill order, which in turn will break the chain buffs that keeps your team alive. Maneater speed requirements is exactly 255. His job is to block 2 attacks from Demon Lord and also block his stun debuffs. I built mine tanky so I can use him for other content such as Faction Wars and Curse City. As you can see, I have 70% crit rate, but go as high as 100. Push damage and crit damage. Resistance and accuracy are not important. As for masteries, the mastery you need is War Master, which gives 60% chance to deal 4% HP damage. That mastery will be your main damage output. You can put in any other mastery as long as it doesn't increase speed, affect meter bar or skill cooldown. As for mastery, we go for offense and defense. On offensive 3, we go for crit rate, crit damage, life drinker, which heals by 5% of damage inflicted when attacking under 50% HP. I went for cycle of violence so I can get extra chance of turn for other content. It won't apply in Demon Lord. Then you basically just steamroll down to the War Master, and in defense, you just basically try to get to the chance to counterattack when champion loses 25% of their HP, which is quite nice, for extra damage. The next champion is Seeker. His speed requirement is 218. Beside the speed, his every other requirement aligns with Maneater's. Damage. You can go with the same masteries without any problem. The third required member of the party is another 4-turn cooldown block damage buffer. Those can be Warcaster, Sir Nicolas, or in my case, Helicat. Helicat's third ability gives 2-turn block damage buff on 4-turn cooldown. The speed requirement is 192. The requirements again align with the Maneater's, which is damage. As long as he uses block damage buff, his job is fulfilled, so keep that damage high. As for his masteries, I went under the support tree, so I can use him in other content. Now the last part of the team, damage dealers. Since Unkillable team guarantees you to reach turn 50, poison is more or less required for early stages of the game. I use Venom Mage and Annex. Both are hard hitters and both apply poison. There are many champions that can be used as damage dealers as long as they don't have active skills or passives that tamper with their cooldown or turn meter. That includes extra turn. So Relentless set as such must not be in effect. For the first damage dealer, speed requirement is 240 speed, and dial that damage to 11. They need pure damage. The harder they hit, the more value you get out of him, and of course, also accuracy is required. For clan boss Ultra Nightmare, no more than 230 accuracy is required. So unless you intend to use him in Doom Tower, hard dungeons or arena, 230 accuracy is more than enough. Now the second damage dealer, the speed requirement is exactly 179. If you're off by 1 speed, that could break the speed too. How to know if you have the right speed? There is a website called Deadwood Jedi, made by a YouTuber called Deadwood Jedi. Here he has guides for speed tuned clan boss teams. Now for the main part. If we scroll down, we can find the calculator. Let's click on Nightmare for example. Here we can see the exact speed tunes we need and the effect it has on the boss. Let's check the turn order of our champions here. And now let's turn to the speed. Here we can pick any champions you want to have. For example, I have Annex on 179 speed, and if I click on speed, here I can set the base speed of the champion and set effects. Let's try out the speed one. Here we can see that the speed set doesn't exactly put your speed on 179, but a little lower. And if you check on the right side on the board, we can see it doesn't really have any effect. But if we turn speed from 179 to 178, the whole speed turn breaks. The team won't work for the Unkillable team. The reason why we have to have the exact speeds. That is all for champion requirements. Let's turn our sights to delays. In this calculator we can also set the delays for each and every skill. We can also see the effect it has on the boss. We will start with Nightmare. Now for the setup. Setup affects the targeting of clan boss, so I suggest you play around with it, but overall, this setup should work. Now for the delays. We go Man-Eater attack 2, Seeker attack 1, Damage Dealer doesn't matter, so you can just go for attack 3, Hellcat attack 2, Damage Dealer attack 2. Now for the Man-Eater, we go attack 3, Seeker attack 1, Damage Dealer attack 2, Hellcat attack 1, Man-Eater attack 1, Damage Dealer attack 3, Seeker attack 1, Damage Dealer attack 1, Man-Eater attack 2, Hellcat attack 1, Damage Dealer attack 1, Seeker attack 1. Now, the first stun landed on the Seeker. On Nightmare that is not a problem, but the goal is that it doesn't hit Man-Eater or Hellcat. Now, Damage Dealer, Man-Eater. Now, Hellcat attack 3, the block damage. On Nightmare, Seeker being stunned is not a problem, because he still has a 1 turn delay. So now, because Seeker took the delay, we can now auto. And by turn 7, the speed tuning should sink in place. As we can see, he stunned the Seeker, so nobody else was stunned, so everything is perfect. Now it should work to the turn 50. And when the battle is over, I will come back. We finished the Nightmare clan boss. We did 58 million damage, which is way past the requirement for the last chest, which is 40 million. Nice. Now we go for Ultra Nightmare. The same setup should work. The difference between the Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare is that Ultra Nightmare will take you 2 keys instead of 1. Now, let's start with the delays. Man-Eater A2, Seeker A1, Attacker A3, Helicat A2. As you can see, before the Attacker 2 went before the Demon Lord, but now it changed because the Demon Lord has more speed than the Attacker. So we went with the A1. Man-Eater A2, Seeker A1, Attacker A2, Helicat A1, Man-Eater A1, the second attack, Attacker A2, Seeker A1, Attacker A1, Man-Eater A2, Helicat A1. After this attack, we can already full auto. As long as he doesn't stun Helicat, Seeker or Man-Eater, we basically finish the clan boss. Perfect. He hit the attacker, which we can now let it play itself out. Now we finish Ultra Nightmare. As long as you do at least 35 million damage per key, you should reach 70 million damage with 2 keys for last chest reward. But doing 3 key Nightmare is still good for early build. With time you will progress, so you can just keep farming those artifacts and eventually you will able to 1 key Ultra Nightmare. If you have troubles or questions, feel free to ask them in the comments or join the Discord. The link is in the description.